The Sports Ball Stuff podcast is brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. Pulpery Media presents Sports Ball Stuff with your hosts, Brock and Ben. This is where we discuss the major sports stories that intrigue us and the little stories that enrage us. Barely.
God, man, it was like a wet fart, a popcorn fart of a football game. Like
A popcorn fart is hot. That's the whole point.
Nobody wanted to win.
It was not a hot game. It was...
If the announcers talked about the Giants not winning a game, trailing in the fourth quarter, I wanted to lose my mind.
Yeah, but like that's how bad of a game it was. Like that was the stat that they fixated on.
Right.
Like that
The
both
game
teams were shitty after the third
16
quarter.
to 13.
Yeah.
And a blocked field goal won. It's almost like Kansas City where they fucking won on a field goal that doinked off the uprights.
Yeah.
But the Saints, okay, to be completely honest, the Saints were the better team, and they missed a field goal. Penalties suck. Why didn't Kamara play a bigger role?
I don't know. Well, honestly, it might be too that they're because everybody else is just getting destroyed.
Yeah.
So it's like he's clearly going to be your franchise player moving forward. Like,
yeah. Or your blue chip trade.
Yeah. So
token.
you're not going to run him out there every single time. You're not going to put the ball in his hands. Every time he touched the ball,
all right,
he did magical things. But when you're in a team like this, when you should already be, and they're reaching out, trying to talk to potential head coaches.
Yeah.
And hopefully under Gail's new stick-to-it attitude, you're going
her
to...
stick-to-itiveness.
Yeah, her pizzazz.
Jesus Christ, the Rangers lost again.
You're going to get a...
I'm going to go scorched earth later.
You're going to get a...
Are we going to do
some more changes other than... you're going to get some fundamental changes in the team. So
organizational shift, maybe?
I mean, that's what we've been calling for. I mean,
I've been saying it forever.
I mean, at the very least, you got to put something to Mickey Loomis of like, you better figure this out or you lose your job.
I think he should lose his job to begin with.
I agree.
If we're going to blow it up, you got to get rid of him too.
Yeah.
I loved his black magic when Drew Brees was in his prime to keep us competing.
Yeah.
We are nowhere near competing.
No.
Fuck your black magic.
Yeah.
Like, let's clear some of this shit out.
Correct.
And start clean.
Yeah. But you got
to
bring in...
There's no quarterback in this draft, so concentrate on positions of need. Cornerback,
you need somebody who's going to come in with a solid plan for a small or low mid-market team.
Yeah.
To be able to compete. And, and granted,
start that
in a weak division, but, I mean, like, that's...
Well, that's what my point was going to be, that other than the Rangers losing, 8 out of 11.
Let's stay focused on football.
Sorry, 8 out of 10. They've gone 2 and 8.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're going to stay on football. So, here's the fucked up thing that I absolutely hate. That the Saints are technically 1 game out of first place because we play Tampa again. I hate it. I want the season to be over with.
Yeah.
And I want to be looking at the future. I don't want to be scraping and clawing to get into the playoffs to get humiliated by Minnesota.
Well, just to use 2 other teams as comparisons. Or, like, in this case, you want it, your model wants to be like Detroit. Like Detroit used to be a large mid-market team. Now, unfortunately, they're...
My uncle played for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah. So, like, or even the Chiefs, like, that's a team you want to emulate.
I think the Chiefs got lucky with their quarterback.
I do.
But
they drafted...
Detroit did it proper.
Yeah.
building from the lines, offensive, defensive
Yeah.
lines out.
But what we don't want to be is caught in a perpetual cycle of
7-9.
or mediocrity like the Bears are in, like where it doesn't matter who you hire, you're in a shit fucking situation.
You're not quite good enough to compete, clearly.
Yeah.
But you're not the Carolina Panthers.
Right.
Or the Jets.
And so, yeah, like as you were saying, now would be the time to do that. Some of those front office changes.
Again, there's no.
While you still have some talent on the field,
Right.
and it's not like, oh, we're going to tear it down.
Bottoming out. No, because it's hard to get back from bottoming out.
Yeah.
Houston did a really good job of slow building, and remember they had to do a soft reset after Deshaun Watson's debacle.
Correct.
The Washington Commanders are another. They're
Also keep in mind with Houston, the rest of the division collapsed around them too. Like
again.
the Colts are a shadow of what they used to be.
Yep.
Jacksonville's Jacksonville. The Titans just slowly dipped, and then they bottomed out.
They were free falling.
Yeah.
And then the parachute failed.
So out of that, I mean, Houston's 8-5, but I mean that you're going to win most of your divisional games.
Buffalo's division's
but
the same
yeah,
thing.
I don't disagree with you're right. Houston, I think, would be the more apropos to our division, in that it's not really a competitive division. So if you could just get a couple of draft picks, make a couple of trades.
Tampa's not a great team.
No, they're 7-6.
They brought in Tom Brady, and they were good, and they lost a lot of that. But they've been able to. Well, it doesn't matter. They're 7-6. Atlanta tried to fix theirs with Kirk Cousins, and everybody knew that that's not what's going to happen. The Panthers are the Panthers, and the Saints are just in limbo. I hate being in limbo.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely hate it. I'm not going to stay on them too long. Derek Carr looks like he's day to day with a hand and a concussion.
Yeah.
Early reports were that he broke his non-throwing hand with a concussion. Sit him the fuck down.
Yeah.
Just put him on injured reserve. How many games are left? 4?
Yeah.
4.
Yeah.
Sit him down. You play the Commanders this week at home, you're going to lose. You go to Green Bay the following week, you're going to lose. Then you finish up with the Rams at home, and then you go to Tampa.
Yeah.
Right? Loss. You're going to go 1-3, maybe 2-2 these final games. Cut your fucking losses. Don't tank, but don't risk Kamara. Don't risk Carr, because at this point we're not going to really get an upgrade unless we sign Jameis Winston.
The only reason to tank is if there's a franchise QB in the draft. There's not. So yeah, you want to stay mid. They're
at 10.
Yeah,
I think
which is perfect because
stay between 8 and 12.
We need to bolster the offensive line or the defensive line. That's a great place to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, our offensive line is okay, but this year
we
learned.
And we still get a pick from Marshawn Lattimore.
Correct.
And
whatever else we could unload.
Yeah, we can offload.
We're Penning and then the rookie on the offensive line, but all the other guys are getting old. Nobody can stay healthy. We need an offensive lineman.
Right, yeah.
Cam Jordan's not getting any younger. We need somebody to complement Chase Young. On the defensive line, our linebackers are okay, but DeMario's not getting any younger.
No, yeah.
Our cornerbacks can't stay healthy.
No.
We need a replacement for Tyrann Mathieu. We need another one defensive back.
Well, we need new trainers and health professionals working with the team.
Offense.
I don't know if it's Oshner or Turo working with them, but they need to.
Whoever the fuck it is needs to be fired.
Yeah, they need to go with one of. Just go with the Louisiana Health.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Apparently, all of the players have United Healthcare.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm kidding.
That's why they've all been denied.
Everything's out of network for us. That's why we stay hurt.
That would.
Wide receivers. We need some help with wide receivers.
We need to protect our wide receivers, and they need to stay healthy. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
That too.
yeah.
But if anything we've learned this year is like, okay, we've got a couple of our big wide receivers hurt, but some of these other guys are starting to step up because they're getting playing time, which can only help in the future.
My nephew asked for a Rashid Shaheed jersey, and I was like, "That's bold." I don't
That
like.
is solid. Though.
I love that choice, but we'll see.
But except guys like that and Olave, right? We're missing those two. But Valdez Scantling stepped up, catching. Jawan Johnson finally decided to catch some footballs this week.
And Moreau's leaping and
correct.
jumping around.
So there's talent. There's talent there.
Which is crazy to think about it. And I will say this is that that's one of the things that drives me crazy about Clint Kubiak is some of the traditionalism that he does.
Yes.
And that you have two of the best tight ends.
3 when you had Taysom.
Right.
Yep.
And yet you're only running one of them out.
Well, I think a lot of that has to do with protection.
I get it, yeah.
So, yeah.
And also, whatever the weird fucking rules about who's on cover, who's an eligible receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
which apparently only ever comes up when it's the last 2 minutes of a Chiefs game.
Well, and the opposing team throws a touchdown, but they randomly have a tight end who declared eligible as an offensive lineman who's 4 yards downfield.
Right, yeah.
And he's an ineligible. Yeah.
To where even the rules analysts are like, hang on.
Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Wait, what? Hold on. You hear this on? Yeah, I don't know what he's referring to.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to get Joe Rogan. Hey, can you pull that up for me?
Pull it up for me.
So yeah, whatever.
All right. Anyway, enough about the Saints because we only got 2 minutes.
Okay, so Carson. So the Lions. I have watched a lot of Lions football this year, and they are giving off some serious 08, 09 New Orleans Saints vibes.
Yeah, not immediately after the disaster.
No.
But just enough so that not that Detroit's never been behind the Lions.
No.
That's one of the greatest fan bases.
Correct.
In the world, but
But
fucking,
I'm talking trajectory, right? They were good and they made the playoffs, right?
Well,
and then last year they were good and they lost in the NFC Championship
It's the perfect team to take over for Kansas City as the number one team.
At least in the NFC.
Country. Yeah. Well, no, I'm just saying,
Eagles,
overall. If you had a Detroit Lions, Kansas City Super Bowl.
I hope we get Detroit and Buffalo, but it ain't happening.
Oh, that would be great. But
in the city of New Orleans?
Yeah.
Could you fucking imagine?
But, either way would be... Well, but then that means the Bills have to lose another one.
Hey, man. But think about, Detroit and Buffalo here.
Yeah.
Both trying to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, snow cities and...
In a dome in the South, in the greatest city in the world.
When it's going to be 50 degrees outside anyway.
In the middle of Mardi Gras. There also happens to be WWE SmackDown going on during that time. That's what I want. Detroit, I am fully 100% behind you.
I agree with you. This is one of those things where it's got that feeling of it's pulling this whole city of Detroit up.
And the Eagles are the only team that I see that could be a potential issue for them.
Yeah.
Maybe Minnesota, but not really.
The way that they're playing right now.
I don't know if anybody in the NFC can beat them.
Their one loss was it was
Tampa.
Well, and it was
week 2.
It was a a couple of easy fixable mistakes.
Correct.
It wasn't
they're winning.
And they're
winning
healthy.
Close games.
Yeah.
I think they have a defender or two hurt.
Yeah.
Good on you, Detroit. Let's go. I'm with you.
Go for it, Dan Campbell.
I'm writing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dan Campbell and.
The following segment has been brought to you by The Goddamn Sauce. Go to thegdsauce.com for details to order all the sauces to replace your ordinary condiments. The Sports Ball Podcast is a production of Pulpery Media, produced and edited by Ben Grimion, marketing by Brock Ryder, graphic design by Beck Ryder and Ben Grimion, music by the Heisenberg Compensators.